warm welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express. My name is Balisa Tembe, and today we've got an extraordinary Tuesday cook-along. Now you might be wondering who is going to be cooking along with us. Who are the experts that we've called on to help us? Now we've got none other than our resident chef, foodie, Dumi. How are you doing, Queen?
I'm doing very well, and I'm so excited about today's cook-along, Balisa, because yes, I'm a chef, but I'm so looking forward to learning what needs to be taught on today's masterclass.
Ay la lela. Everyone might be thinking, what do they have up their sleeve? Well, someone who's going to help break it down to us is Susanda. Welcome back to Afternoon Express.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. So excited to be back.
Yeah, and it seems like we're all going to be learning a little some today. And you might be wondering, well, who is our hidden secret? Who is our weapon that we've got in our back pockets here, throwing it down in the kitchen? It is none other than foodie extraordinaire, someone with a passion for all things taste. It is Offa. Now, Offa, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's wonderful to be here, you know?
Yeah, so today it seems like you're going to be taking us to the Middle East with our cuisine.
Absolutely. We're going to go there together. We're going to actually do it through the food, and it's going to be amazing.
It is going to be amazing. Now, South Africa, you might be wondering, what is cooking? Well, Dumi, what's on the menu?
We've got quite a bit of things on the menu today. So we're going to be making some falafels. We're going to be making beef kofta. We're going to be making hummus, but the right way. We're going to be making sru. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, Offa. Sru. Yes, which is a sauce, but he likes to call it a wipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't get into that.
And we're going to be making, we're making pitas and pitas from scratch. But like anyone that wants to know what we're making today definitely needs to tune in and watch.
Okay, absolutely beautiful. South Africa, you already know where to find all those details. AfternoonExpress.co.za. Or Chef Chumi has detailed the ingredients and, of course, the recipe, so you can make this Middle Eastern cuisine-inspired menu. Now we also want to find out on social media, what is your go-to? Ready-made meals, or do you just have to make everything from scratch? Use that hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. Now, Dumi, drill sergeant, as I'd like to call you on a day like today, what should we be doing? What's our first step?
Today, I'm going to be making the pitas on my side with Susanda, where I'm going to show you how to make the actual dough, and then she's going to show us how to roll them. But on your side, you've got the master of this roux. I met him at a market. Nish Nush is his business, and they make the most amazing pitas. So I think it's only fair that he shows us exactly how to make that roux, and he will be giving you the instructions over there, because it is only fair that the master himself teaches you.
Voila, I am loving that. And we're making all of this with the glorious help of Clover Fresh Full Cream Milk. I'm loving it. So whilst you guys are just adding that and creating and adding the different elements, essentially, to make this pita bread possible, we're also going to be touching base here with you, Offa. Now, we've already spoken, Utumi's spoken a big game about your pita bread being the best in the business. So if we want to make the best accompaniment, I suppose, to it, what is that, and what are we going to be whipping up on our side?
You know, so when I came to South Africa 10 years ago, you know, we didn't had I couldn't find the right fresh pitas, so I was keep looking for it, and eventually we started the business because we really wanted to make fresh pitas. And then we said, okay, what else can we do with the pitas? You know, obviously we can eat it with a lot of spices, with a lot of sauces, and one of them, it's a very common one in the Middle East. It's actually a Yemeni sauce. It's called sroug, and you can call it a chili paste, but it goes very well with what we're cooking today, with hummus, with the pita, and what we're going to start doing, we're going to start chopping some coriander.
Okay.
And yeah, we're just going to chop
So
it
then in
finely.
terms of the ingredients that goes into this roux, what can South Africans expect? When they go to the grocery store, what do they need to make sure that they're stocked up on? I can see over here, we've already got some jalapenos. I suppose that's for the heat. But what else is over on your side?
A lot of garlic. You need some olive oil, and you'll need some spices. A lot of spices are going into it. So cardamom or hel, if we call it in you know, Arabic or Hebrew. Then we've got salt and basically jalapenos or any chilies. You can make this paste that we're making now. You can make it as a green paste, which what we have in front of us, or you can make it with red chilies, which will make it, will dye it red, you know. So you can make it in both ways. When you make that paste, if you want to make it extra spicy, you can just blitz it with the pips. But if you actually want to make it less spicy, you can just peel off with a teaspoon the pips off. Keep them aside and make the paste. If you feel after you blitz it that it's not spicy enough for you, you can always add it on top. You know?
I love that. You know, sometimes, and a lot of the time is when I say sometimes, I'm the one with the heat. I love to keep it spicy in the kitchen. I love to keep it hot. But sometimes I'm cooking for people who might not have the same flavor profile as me, and that's fine. But I then wonder, how then can I create something that still has that flavor, that still has that spice, but also keep them in mind, you know, be considerate, I suppose. So I love the fact that you've given us 2 ways of enjoying this delicious schug.
Yeah.
Love that. And on your side, Dumi, how's it going?
On our side, I've actually just started mixing up my dough. So what I've got in here is I've got some salt, I've got some yeast, I've got some Clover Fresh milk that I've warmed up. It's lukewarm. It is not hot, South Africa. It has to be warm. If it's hot, it's going to kill the yeast, and we don't want that. We want the yeast to activate. So that's why it needs to be just lukewarm, not too hot. And I've also got some olive oil as well. So now I'm going to be kneading my dough for our pitas. And the one thing I love is that we're using Clover Fresh milk. And I don't know if Sisanda and Offa know this, but this milk stays fresh for up to 18 days. It is basically undergone 55 quality tests.
Yeah.
So you know that whatever product you're getting, whatever milk you're going to be consuming in this beautiful blue bottle is quality. It's not just milk that was taken and they're just feeding you. They've actually gone through all the processes to make sure that it's good for you and it's healthy.
So when we think about it, Sisanda, you know how essential and how important is nutrients and making sure that we're not just eating carbohydrates just for the sake of it. You know, we're making sure that we're also replenishing the body with what it needs.
True. It's very important to watch what we eat. Especially now, we are so conscious about it. Everyone's talking about healthy eating, watching what you eat. So I think this is very convenient and it works for our benefit. And also, I just wanted to ask Offa, how thick do we roll these?
Not too thick, actually.
Can I roll it a bit thinner?
Those ones are perfect, what you've got there.
Is it?
That looks very good, yeah.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, you don't want to do it too much, but that's perfect.
Is that fine?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Cool.
Let me give you a little bit of jalapenos here. I think they're almost ready. So in terms of the jalapenos, we also have this all goes into the same scoop.
Yeah, so you can just even, you've chopped it very good, even too good.
Well done,
but, you can,
Pictures later.
so you can just throw it in here.
Nice.
And
oh, I love that you're picking up on South African slang. Just gooi it in.
yeah, so you've got just the rest of it. You can put it all in.
Okay.
I've chopped enough parsley for us, but you can chop this parsley as well.
Okay.
And then we're going to add the spices, which are, you know, the cardamom.
You can add them in as we go.
The chili flakes, and we've got some cardamom. Sorry, I said cardamom already. This is cumin. So we've got the cumin and salt.
Okay. Nice.
That's it. So we're going to make it, and then we're going to blitz it.
Okay, just add in some of those spices in there. I want South Africans to see essentially how easy this is to make. I know Dumi made a joke earlier and said that you like to call this a wipe. Now, a lot of people are familiar with it. Okay, break it down. Let's hear from the professional as to the concept behind the different ways you can enjoy this.
Yeah, so I would, you know, wipe this just inside the pita, you know, but I call it wipe because I usually like to wipe the hummus with the pita. But you can just spread it inside, and it's great. It's delicious. You guys will try it.
No, I'm definitely ready to try this, South Africa. And whilst you're adding those finishing touches, you can add, I believe, some olive oil, and I don't know if you want to add some water, or is it just good to go with the olive oil?
We're gonna blitz it just with a little bit of olive oil, and that should be fine.
And that should be fine. Well, South Africa, if you're wondering what is cooking here in the kitchen, we're taking you on a Middle Eastern cuisine trip, essentially. So pack your bag, South Africa. It is absolutely delicious here in the kitchen. Head over to afternoonexpress.co.za to get the full ingredients list. So as you just put those finishing touches on and you blitz it away, let's head over to Odumi.
Yes, so as you can see now, when I first put the ingredients into the bowl, it was nice and flaky. But now that I've started kneading the flour, kneading the dough, it's now all gluteny and sticky like that. So that's what we want. We want it to be nice, and because we're activating the yeast. So I'm going to keep kneading it until it basically doesn't stick. And then once we do that, we let it proof, and then we're going to bake it in the oven. And we're going to come up with these beautifully rolled, amazing pitas that Sisanda has on the side.
Oh, I love that. Whilst you're blitzing away there, we are ready for the noise, we are ready for the action. Jan here in the kitchen. I'm loving that. I love the color on that. The green truly does speak to the Middle Eastern vibes. Does that seem good to you?
Yeah.
That seems perfect to me. Now, South Africa on social media, we want to find out from you. Are you a quick, easy, go-to, ready-made meal type of person, or do you like to make things from scratch? Here in our kitchen, we're making our pizza bread from scratch. We're making our delicious roux and our street-inspired food here from scratch. So we want to find out from you, how do you like it the most? Maybe you can just dish this up right here and pour it into this pot so that South Africans can see just how quick and easy it is to have something delectable, delicious, nutritious in with your pita bread.
I love it. It's even sounds better than it tastes.
But that actually reminds me that we've had a couple of cook-alongs, and we've had different types of green sauces. We've had pesto and so forth, and this is a Middle Eastern one that we've never actually heard of. So thank you so much for putting us on.
Pleasure.
Just like that, South Africa, I'm very excited to be trying this at home. And if you want to see how this is made one more time, here's a quick recap.
Made with love by Clover.
Now that is not all. We still have so much more cooking coming up. So Dumi, what else can we look forward to?
So next we're going to be making some falafels, which the falafel master will show us, and some beef koftas.
Well, it seems to be nothing but the best. Please do head over to afternoonexpress.co.za. But more from this Middle Eastern kitchen coming up. Nothing beats the long-lasting freshness and quality taste of Clover fresh milk. Made with love by Clover. The Euro Millions is known to be one of Europe's favorite draws. Now standing at 2.6 billion rand, South Africans can now place fixed odds bets on the Euro Millions. Don't miss out. Visit lottoland.co.za. Lottoland South Africa is a licensed bookmaker with the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. National Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line 0800 006 008. back to your Tuesday Afternoon Express cook-along. Now, we do have so much magic in the kitchen up our sleeve. We've already started making something Middle Eastern inspired, but that is the theme we're continuing throughout the show. So you might be wondering, what is next? What more magic can we create, Dumi?
We are creating quite a bit of magic. On my side, we're going to be making some lamb koftas, which I'm also going to be doing with the instruction of Mr. Offer over there, because we all do our koftas or our meatballs in our way, but we want to keep it Middle Eastern, so we want to make sure that we stay true to that. And then on your side, you're going to be doing what Offer is known for as well, the falafels. We're going to be making the falafels, and he's going to talk us through that whole process, how it's done the right way, and not the way that we've been seeing some places out there.
Authenticity is key here, and if you want to get authentic in your kitchen, keeping it Middle Eastern, please do head over to our website and you can get the full ingredients list and recipe to be cooking along with us. Now on social media, we also want to find out from you. Are you a quick, easy, go-to, ready-made type of girl or boy? Or are you someone who believes in making something from scratch? Now, being authentically Middle Eastern is something that you're all about, Offer.
Yeah.
So when it comes to putting together these delicious falafels, what needs to always be what do we need to always remember?
Okay, so you know, I was born in Israel, in Haifa, and it's a very common street food to eat falafels in Israel and all over the Middle East. You know, in Lebanon, in Egypt, all over.
Yeah.
If you want to make a falafel from scratch, you got to have raw chickpeas, and you need to soak them at least 24 hours overnight. So that's just the first challenge, you know, if you want to make that, because you can't just go and get a can and make it. So just soak it for 24 hours, and that will basically make the chickpeas be ready to make a falafel.
So is that all just about softening the chickpeas and getting it prepared, making sure that that moisture is locked into the chickpea itself?
Exactly, and also, you know, they basically grow in weight as well. So you don't have to, you know, if you're going to make a lot of it, you're going to have way too much. So you can have 250 grams, or the recipes that we've got on the website.
Yeah.
And, you know, it will become 500 grams.
Oh, wow.
So, you know,
it's unlike spinach that wilts and goes away and disappears.
Yeah.
This becomes more. I'm all about the more.
Yeah, so we're going to soak them overnight. Then we've got one that we've soaked already. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a paste that's similar to a couscous, you know, and that's kind of grainy, what it needs to be done. The authentic way, we don't use a food processor, but this is a great food processor. We're using a meat mincer, but nobody really has meat mincer anymore at home. So meat mincer is great because it keeps the grain really thick and crunchiness. So that's really how we do it at Nishnush. And you know, if you want to do it here, what we're going to do is we're basically going to chop some greens, which are the parsley and the coriander. If you're a person that doesn't like coriander, you don't have to add it. But some people even add dill or cauliflower even to make it airy. But this way that we're going to do it now, we're going to have the green chopped. Then we've got our chickpeas that's been soaked overnight. We're going to add them into the food processor.
Nice.
And then we're going to have our spices. And a really nice tip that I'm going to give you guys here is to add baking soda, which really helps it to be airy. It's just an easy way to do it.
I like that.
Yeah, so let's add the chickpeas.
So here it's just key and important to remember to keep it chunky. When you're putting it in your food processor, we need to keep the ingredients chunky.
You don't want it to be a paste, otherwise it won't be airy. So just try to pulse it when you grinding it. Or
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're putting this together. I'm so excited. I love myself a good falafel. If you do too and you are as excited as us, just drop a comment on our social media platforms. And let's go over to the emotion that's happening on that side of the corner. Chef Sisanda.
I feel like you guys are in a business of making me cry.
Yeah. We always seem to be bringing up the tears for you here on Afternoon Express. But you are doing something that is so important, so crucial, something that I cannot overlook, is you're getting the onions ready, honey. I love myself some onions.
It's flavorful. It adds flavor to everything. Literally, I can't cook without onion.
I think the one thing I've realized as well is that with the type of food that we're doing here, when we were talking about making koftas, we talk about chopping the onion and so forth, but Offa's recipe requires that you actually grate the onions so that it's a nice sauce, and it makes it easier for the onions to actually be incorporated into the meat itself.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I'm also just chopping up some garlic that's going to go into our lamb koftas. So we've also got similar flavors and spices or herbs that we've got on that side.
Okay.
The only addition here is we've got mint. And I think maybe it is important that we find out why mint specifically for the lamb. I know that lamb and mint go well together, but is it something that's been in the history of Middle Eastern
cuisine?
cooking?
You know, mint goes. You know, a lot of teas are being used with mint tea, but I think that this specific recipe is more of a Greek style of kofta. You know, when we do the kebabs, we call it you know, the kebabs in the Middle East. We use lamb kebab. You would use like you're doing, but they would have a massive knife, and they would take the meat and they will put it on a chopping board, and then they will finely chop everything together, so the onions and the meat and the parsley, and they will make it into you know, a bowl of meat that's already finely chopped. So they won't use a meat mincer to make the koftas or the kebab. So koftas are you know, the Turkish style. You know, you've got lamb kebabs. We call it in the Middle East kebabs. And usually on this side of the world, it's known kebabs is something on a skewer.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of how they make it. So they will take this massive knife that they will chop the meat with it. It's
and
really
you just
interesting.
saw it. That's very interesting. I'd be very interested also, not only just to enjoy the ingredients and the food and the taste that we're creating in the kitchen, but also it seems like it is just a food experience. You know, enjoying different cuisines from different parts of the world. It's about the experience from when you walk in to when you leave, filled with delicious delights in your stomach.
Yeah.
So that's also what I love about having you here. You're talking us through that, listen, it's about more than just the food here. It's about so much more.
Yeah, you know, it's you know, just it's just good food, and it's just fun to make it. You know, fun to make something different.
Lovely. So what are you about to add into our blender here?
So cumin, adding cumin. We've got the pepper and some baking soda.
Okay, and that's the secret weapon you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that will definitely help. Doesn't have much taste, but it will make it more airy, you know. Yeah, and then we'll add. We've got the greens.
Yeah.
And we're basically gonna now just blitz it.
Blitz it. Beautiful. Wait, I have forgotten something that I'm such a fan of: garlic.
Of course, yes.
So do you want to pass me just some garlic over there whilst we head over to the girls on this side? Ladies, how is the mince coming together, and how is that flavor? How are those flavors coming together?
They're coming together very well because, like we said, with a lot of the cooking that we're doing here, it seems to be quite stuck on the spices and the flavors. So we've got mint and parsley over here, and then the flavor profile stays the same. We've also got some cardamom, we've got some cinnamon, we've got some cloves, we've got cumin, which I see is a thread throughout the entire, like it is basically in almost everything we've done. In the zru, it was there. We've got it here in our koftas, and then we're also going to have it when we make the hummus later as well.
Nice.
So it seems to be a thread. It is one of the most popular, I mean, Middle Eastern seasonings, I think.
Yeah. I think that that's what's also nice and crucial, because here you're making use of the same thing multiple times. So you don't have a spice rack filled with different things that you use for every different second. Here, it's okay. You just need the key, the core main flavors, and you're good to go.
Definitely. And I also like how earthy these flavors are, because like they're so fresh. They smell fresh. Imagine how they are in your mouth as well.
Tasting even better. Love
You
that.
know, to me, the cumin that you said, it's there's also a spice called Ras El Hanout.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys have seen it in the shops, but that's also something that you know, if you don't want that specific cumin, you can add it. That they will have cumin in it. And there's other spices that can be added into a meatball, you know, that makes it very Middle Eastern. So it's a lot about the spices, really, that goes into that.
Lovely. Well, South Africa, I hope that you have been following side by side with us. You've got your notepad out, you've got your pots ready, because we're making Middle Eastern beautiful magic here. We keep saying it, it's because it's true. Now, if you want to be cooking along with us, just head over to our website and you'll get all the details that you need. But coming up, we're going to be putting the final touches to our delicious falafels. All of that coming up.
Express yourself.
Welcome back to the Afternoon Express Kitchen. Now you might be wondering, what are we cooking up today? Well, we're taking you on a journey. We're taking you a journey to the Middle East with our food and the delectable flavors that we've got going on in the kitchen. So if you want to find out where to get all the recipe ingredients and details, please just head over to our Afternoon Express website, and that's where we've decked out everything for you. Now, Dumi, we're on part 2 of creating these beautiful falafels. So what's next?
The one thing I do love about Middle Eastern cuisine is that it's very forgiving of different dietary requirements. Because over there, we're making falafels that are vegetarian. And then over here, we're making koftas, which are lamb-based, which means that a person, if you're at a party or if you want to serve people different options, you've got the option of giving people that or the koftas. So I'm making the koftas now. We're about to shape them because I know that there's also a very signature way that they're supposed to be done. Like you were saying earlier, like we kebab them in a skewer.
Yeah.
Normally, we find kebabs as different types of meat and that's actually different from what we have here. We've actually got some that we made earlier, so that's how they turn out after they've been cooked. So we're just making the mixture and we're going to shape them nicely and cook them until they're perfectly cooked.
Beautiful. Sisanda, on your side, I can see that you've got a bit of a weapon there. What are you going to be doing over there on your side as well?
So I'm going to be shaping the koftas just before we grill them on the stove. So do I just press the meat on the skewer?
Yeah. Just with your thumb and
because
It's very simple, yeah.
it's simple. I've never done this before, I must say.
Okay.
Well, you are just like me. Don't worry, girl. We're all in this together. But if we go back to the extraordinaire here, you're unlike us. You're well seasoned and well experienced within this type of food, and that's essentially what brought you to South Africa. So if we were to just see how you whip it up there in the Middle East, we've already got our mixture of the chickpeas. We've put the powder, the flour inside of here. Those baking soda, all the flavors, the onion, the garlic. Now it's time to get processing.
Yeah. So I'm just going to start make some noise.
Let's make that noise.
Just to pulse it, yeah.
Oh,
You don't want it in a paste.
beautiful.
Pulse it.
So essentially, this technique here is what is key. This is what separates the boys from the men.
Yeah. So you've got if you're in a food processor, just don't paste it, pulse it, and if you've got a meat mincer, put it in the meat mincer. So this is how it should look like, grainy, like a couscous kind of paste.
Consistency, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like a couscous consistency. That looks good here.
Yeah.
So I think we are ready almost to assemble and put these falafels
So
together.
I'm going to go and put it into our fryer. This is also a very nice tool to have. It's a falafel maker. You can buy it at any cooking shop, and basically you can make professional falafels with this.
No, listen,
I'll show
we're
you
all
how
about keeping
looks.
it pro. Yeah, let's show us exactly.
But if you don't have it, you can just use it with your hands or with 2 spoons and make a ball of it.
To
So
fold
it's not a train smash if you can't or if you don't have it at home.
Well, show us how the pros do it, South Africa. I hope that you're cooking
Okay.
along with us. Are we trading places?
Yes.
Okay, let's
please.
trade places.
Okay.
So the heat on that oil is already on. We've kept it on high for about 5 minutes.
Yes, so that's great because that's a very key factor, actually. Thank you. You want it between 170 and 190 degrees, and if it's not hot enough, the falafel ball will just break. And that will be quite
Disastrous.
disappointing. So yeah, let's check if it's hot. You can exactly to me.
Yes, I did it right.
Yes, chef. Perfect.
Offer, you know what Dumi is doing. We normally
Oh, yeah.
we tend to say it all the time on the show that this is a simple way of not getting burnt, but still finding out if your oil
Yeah,
is hot enough.
Exactly. That's perfect.
So, Opa, I just want to mention something that I'm not sure if the viewers saw, but you
Yeah.
didn't add any liquid into your falafel mixture, unlike when we did with the suhoor, you added liquid.
Yeah.
So the reason for that is, like you said, you don't want it to be a paste, you want it to be as dry as possible.
Yeah, you want it to be dry. Well, you just want it to be, I don't think it's a big deal.
Okay.
It's not a big deal to do it like that. You just want it in a couscous style, just grainy, really. And this is perfect what we've done. I put a little bit of oil into that tool if we've got, just to make it not stick. And then we just drop it, and we try to do everything relatively at the same time. It will be ready almost. We want it all at the same time. So we just keep putting it in.
Okay, delicious.
And
Well, Chef, whilst you're doing that, I think I left a spoon on that side.
Okay.
Are you able to help me out with that spoon? Because what I'm going to be doing on my little corner here is I'm going to be assembling what we prepared a lot earlier on in the show. At the top of the show, we've made some delicious pizza bread, and I'm going to add the scho, as we like to call it here. And that's essentially just a chili paste that's going to line the inside of the pizza bread, just to add with the flavor, the creaminess, so it's not completely dried out. And also, Offer has offered us some delicious salad here.
Israeli salad, yeah. That's just finely chopped cucumber, tomato with lemon juice and salt and pepper, parsley, and that goes very well with hummus or tahini and a spread of schug that you're putting now, and then we're going to check on our falafels. So let me just take this spoon.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chef. So on social media, South Africa, we wanted to find out from you, are you the type of person that goes to the ready-made, simple stuff, or do you like to make things from scratch? Today in the kitchen, we're making everything from scratch. It seems as if our falafels are coming together quite well. I'm already starting to see some brown coming up from the crumbs there.
Yeah.
Can I
That's
just
right.
ask, so obviously we're making it the proper way, the falafels. I've seen the mix pasty. What happens when you fry it? If it's a bit wet than it is now?
I think it's fine. I don't think
So
it's
it's still fine?
Yeah, I think
Because
it's perfect. Yeah.
What I've seen before, the mix would be more pasty.
Yes.
Kind of
Yeah, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more wet. You're right. You're right. I mean, it's
Still fine.
perfect. Yeah, but yeah, I really don't have anything to add on that. That's perfect.
Okay, we're looking good on our side as well with our koftas here. So we've got them on the skewer. So the whole idea is to make sure that they cook through over here. But you did mention that these ingredients or recipes can actually be done on an open flame. Like you put these in coal,
Yes.
on the actual coal.
Yes, exactly. So we would basically cook it, or we say in Hebrew, ala esh, which is on the fire, on the coals, and you would even be able to plate it longer on the skewer, so you can have a longer skewer and thinner. And the nice thing about the skewer is that it actually cooks the kebab from the inside.
Oh, wow.
So this is a really, really nice way to just flip it as well when you're cooking it on the fire. Yeah, but you can make it, when you're making it kebabs like that, that looks fantastic. You don't necessarily have the skewer, but the skewer is great for flipping it when you've got big coals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually didn't
It tastes
think quite
delicious on coals, sorry.
on coals.
On coals, yeah, on fire, yeah.
Yeah, talk about a South African
Yeah,
twist in
we know.
there. Senzi shisanyama here out of our skewers and our kebabs. I like that. And the fact
Exactly.
that you've mentioned that the skewers are metal. So then that heat from the metal that's being picked up through the pan is going to continuously cook out that meat from the inside as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
So you can even roll it thinner, and you'll have, it will cook quicker, and it will just warm from the inside as well.
Lovely,
Yeah,
delicious.
Very, very cool.
So how's it going there with the falafels? Do we have one ready yet? Let's see.
We are almost there, but I will take it out shortly.
Nice, I love that. Sisanda, on your side, we were asking South Africans, do they like ready-made food or do they like to just, make it from scratch, make it a labor of love? What do you have to say on the topic?
from scratch. From scratch.
You said that without blinking. You said that with your entire chest, Queen. What's the reason? Is it because you know essentially what's inside?
Definitely. And also, I get asked a lot why I chose to be a chef. Also, it was just because so that I make what I want to eat. So essentially, going through the whole process of making something also gives appreciation to the food.
Yeah.
You give appreciation to the ingredient. You get to appreciate the food even more.
Yeah.
So I love making things from scratch.
Let us see the delicious golden brown goodness that are those falafels. I mean, that looks so good.
Yeah, it does, eh?
No, I'm so ready to put this into the pita bread. You've already got some that
Thank
you've
you,
already
Tumi.
taken out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can just bring those closer to the short one in this corner so that I can start assembling and adding those finishing touches onto the pita bread. And on your side, Dumi?
On our side, we're also done. Our koftas are nice and ready, as you can see them, looking all beautiful and hot. So I think I'm just going to plate them over here with the rest of our... Should we take them off the skewer or do we leave them on the skewer?
You can take them. You can leave them over the skewer if you're serving it, but it's very nice, just to fork it off.
Okay. So whoever that's eating them will actually do that themselves as they're about to eat.
That's very nice.
So you grab it with a bit of pita bread and
That
so
looks
forth.
delicious. I just want to.
It smells amazing also.
Wow.
All those spices that we put in are actually
Yes.
coming through as well.
And just like that, South Africa, voila! Please do head over to our Afternoon Express website to get the full ingredients list and recipe so you can be making this Middle Eastern cuisine at home. Now, Dumi, we're not done.
No, we're not. We're not. No, we're not. We are going to seal it off with the one and only Middle Eastern ingredient or recipe that people love, and that's hummus.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to be making some pickled cabbage that's going to be going along with all of this.
All of that's coming up.
Express yourself.
It is our favorite day of the week. It's a Tuesday, which means it's a cook-along. And I'm not alone. Of course, we're here with our incredible chefs that have been helping us from the top of the show throughout. Now, we are making Middle Eastern cuisine. And what I'm loving the most about it is that we've got our darling foodie here, Uafa, who has been definitely giving us what we need to make sure that we do not make a mistake at Kishini. So, Dumi, it seems like we now are ready for the very next step and the final step of this menu.
Yes, so when I was at Nish Nish and I had the falafels and I had the food that they were serving, one thing that stood out was the red cabbage. And it is such a signature, simple but tasty recipe where it basically is just it's the cabbage, they use red cabbage. You said we could use green, just normal cabbage as well. Yeah, so it was the red cabbage and some lemon juice. And because, you know, we're Afternoon Express, we're going to add some coriander as well to his sauce. But it was such a simple but amazing, refreshing taste when you're eating that pita and all the stuff that was in there. So we're going to be making that on our side.
I mean, Sisanda, when you look at a delicious cabbage that's in front of you right now, I mean, there's so many ways to enjoy a cabbage, but here we're making it in a very Middle Eastern way. What makes you excited about this meal and more importantly about that red cabbage?
It's so vibrant. You see the color it brings out, it's definitely going to stand out. Because there's meat, there's brown, there's bread. So this is definitely going to stand out. And the flavor, it's crunchy.
Yeah.
There's a bit of sweetness to it. So it adds as well to the overall, I think.
Yeah. The dish, I love that. So we're playing here with textures here as well, it seems like.
Yeah. You know, it's nice and crunchy, as Sisanda said, and it's just another really easy salad to make.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, you know,
Delicious.
it's lemon juice, salt, pepper. You slice it quite thin, and it's ready to serve. You know.
So let's get into the hummus.
Okay.
Now, a lot of
Thank
people
you.
talking about the social media question as to whether you like something pre-made or you make it from scratch. Here we're making our hummus from scratch, but I ain't never made hummus from scratch ever, South Africa. So I'm so glad that I've got someone like you who's able to talk me through the right way of preparing it and the wrong ways. Already behind the scenes, you were giving me some tips, some tricks, but let's share with our viewers.
Thank you, Palesa. So what we've got here is we've got chickpeas that we've soaked for at least 12 hours, 8 to 12 hours overnight. Okay, same as the falafel, just we've soaked it for less hours, and then it's 8 to 12 hours. Then we've taken those chickpeas and we've cooked them for an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. It really depends on your chickpeas, you know, the type of chickpeas that you purchase. Some of them are really small, some of them are slightly medium sized, but you will need to cook them for an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. And the way that you really know that they're ready to take out of the water is that you can squash them with your fingers. Then you really know that it's ready.
Okay.
You know? So
No, it seems like you're also not only cooking with your eyes and with your taste, you're having all the 5 or what's it? Senses. That's the one. You have all your senses here and incorporating all the senses in enjoying the food. So as soon as we have soaked them overnight, we've cooked them for an hour to 2 hours, then what's next?
Great question. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take 250 ml of that water that we've cooked with, and we're going to put it aside. That's a glass of water around about. And then that's water are going to be used afterwards to add to the flavor when we're going to actually put all of it together. So cooking, the cooked water are really important to keep aside. And if you say want to have hummus and you want to make it from scratch, but you forgot to put it overnight, you can go and get a tin can of chickpeas and use them. But you won't have that cooked flavors that you've cooked it over a long period of time. You can add some garlic or onions to that water that you're boiling and cooking and simmering. So that's kind of the tricks in the flavors. And then we're just going to add now the actual chickpeas into the food processor. So we've got just our chickpeas.
Those soft cooked chickpeas already. I'm going to be just chopping up some greens that are going to go into the salad. So as we continue here, you can just keep adding.
So we've got the water that we've cooked with. We're going to add it. And the nice thing about adding the water with the chickpeas, I would, first of all, my trick is to, you know, blitz it first of all with not too much water and not too much chickpeas. So you kind of need to have the ratio right.
Okay.
And once you've got the paste right, the texture, then you will add your tahina, which is the tahini sauce, and then you will add your spices. If you do add it before, it becomes too thick, and then you're losing that texture, that smoothness of the hummus that you want to eat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been doing it
So
wrong
I'm going
all
to
my
blitz
life.
You and me both, yeah. Because normally you think that the right way to do it is to just blitz everything together. But now you've showed us that that's actually not the correct way. Well, carry on your side.
Slow and steady here.
Here we're just going to really, really blitz it to fine. You know, we're going to run it at home for a minute.
And we just need to essentially make sure that all those bits are really just chunked out, essentially worked out to make that smooth paste.
And then, you know, we look at the texture of it. We like the texture. You know, if it's too watery, we add more chickpeas. If it's less watery, you know, you add more water. And then we've got our tahina, which you can see the recipe on our website. And then we'll add it to the paste.
That looks so good. That's thick on its own, and that
that's
looks
amazing.
decadent, right?
That's amazing. That's basically, it's sesame seed oil. It's been grinded and it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. You can have it as a salad dressing. You can mix it with lemon juice and water. You can chop parsley and blitz it just as it is. Yeah, the tahina for me is fantastic.
It is, yeah. Okay,
Then we're
cool.
going to add our cumin and salt and
it's just a pinch of salt, just for taste.
well, yeah, you can have depends on the quantities, but yeah, we're going to put a little bit more salt.
I love that. Something for the flavorful. I'm going to hand over these greens. So you ladies are almost done there putting that salad together. I think that this is the one of the many quickest salads I've seen put together as well. I mean, it's definitely delivering on the color. It's delivering, hopefully, on the flavor. Let's see. Ladies, how's it going?
I think that's one thing I've realized about most of the food we've prepared today, that it is really quite quick. Because I mean, if you look at it, we've made the salad in less than 5 minutes. I mean, the hummus is almost ready. The beef koftas, I think the longest thing that we did was probably just the soaking of the chickpeas. That was it. But everything else was quick and easy, and all of this is so simple, so quick to make, and it looks very delicious.
I love that. No wonder they call it street food. Let's keep blitzing. Okay, slowly but surely adding in those elements. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So we're ready here. This is it. You can have a look. It's ready to eat, you know?
Perfect.
That's so cool.
Wow.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Talk about making some things from scratch. I'm definitely seeing here the benefits of a labor of love that is cooking. Making things from the ground up, essentially. Building, elevating.
You know, that's hummus is you know, is amazing. It's so versatile, and you know, it's just so good. You eat a lot of hummus in the Middle East. You know, if there's one thing in the Middle East that everybody's there's a consensus about, is about hummus. You know, everybody likes hummus. Most of them, at least. Most of the countries, and you know, I think that's maybe the thing that binds us all: the love of hummus.
Oh, look at that, binding us not only over there in the Middle East, but also here on Afternoon Express. Ladies, are we good to go? Are we finished?
Yeah,
Hands up.
I'm just ready to indulge now. I'm ready.
No, you can already see the most person that's excited here in the kitchen is me. I'm so ready to get cooking, or rather get eating, because we've done our cooking. Everything is done and dusted. South Africa, if you have missed it, we've taken you on a flavor journey, essentially from South Africa, La Mzansi, all the way to the Middle East. But please do head over to our website where you can get the full ingredients list and the recipe to be making this magic that we're about to dive in after these. Protect what matters to you with insurance from Standard Bank. SMS LIFE to 31492 for a quote that fits your needs. Welcome back to Afternoon Express, where it is eating time. Now I'm so ready to dive into all this deliciousness that we've prepared with the excellence that is your ideas, essentially. Taking our own Mzansi twist to Middle Eastern cuisine, and that's what I'm so excited about. But something that's very special here about Upra Off, I'm going to now call you Upra Off, is that this is essentially what you're about. In Zulu Sotsi, udume ngani. What makes you popular, what makes you famous, and it's all it is.
Yeah, you know, that's what we do at Nishnush. Nishnush SA, we've got every week, we've got the Middle Eastern street food, falafel, shawarmas actually that we didn't make here, which everybody likes shawarmas.
Yeah.
But, you know, homemade hummus and freshly baked pitas, which are just delicious. And, you know, this is what I call, you know, to wipe the hummus. We just go straight in it.
Wipe it.
Eating with your hands. Why do we even have these? Almost want to say. I want to say voila, bye-bye to our forks and our knives and just dive in with our hands. Thank you so much, Arthur. I'll definitely be popping by and visiting you at your shop. If this is what you have up your sleeve, oh, I'm ready for the whole lot of it. Now, Sisanda, as we also just have you again on the show, what a treat.
It was a journey, like you said. I definitely packed up and I was ready, and this was amazing. I also like that with street food, you can dine in with your hands. Just dive in. You don't need the cutlery, you don't need the extra stuff. You just go in, dive in. And the colors. And I also like how everything is flavorful on its own.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to add anything extra to it. You can just have it as is.
What a beautiful. I mean, Dumi, we have been asking on social media, what do you prefer? What do you like? Let us not avoid the question anymore. What are you all about?
You know I like my cooking, but sometimes because our life is cooking, sometimes you do get tired of cooking. Sometimes you feel like I just want something that's ready and let me have it. And yes, it's convenient, but I still prefer cooking. I still prefer making my food from scratch, because you also get to learn so much more with your flavors, because the only way you can know what flavors work together is by matching them up here and there every now and then, changing it up.
I love that. Alpha was busy saying, would you like some hummus? Oh, hells yes, give it to me. And give me more. I will not say no in the kitchen. South Africa, thank you so much for stopping by Afternoon Express. I'm going to have a little bit of chili sauce as well with this.
That's great.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mzansi. As always, it has been a pleasure. Again, please just head over to our website and you can get the full ingredients list and the recipe to be making this magic at home. But tomorrow we've got a Wellness Wednesday edition where we've got more giveaways, more exciting phone calls, live phone calls, in-studio conversations. So make sure you do not move a muscle and you do not miss it. Same time, same place. But from us here, good night, stay safe and happy eating. Goodbye. Clover celebrates spring with exciting giveaways. Look out for selected Clover products in store to stand a chance to win. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.